ahead and ground. So we'll find our easy pose. I do want to just point out that personally, I've been feeling like the outside of my ankles have been overstretched. So if you guys are feeling that at all, it may be a good option to start in a supported hero instead. Just really letting the pointed feet trail directly out from the knees, right? Yeah. And that's something that like the Pilates is gonna bring back with us, that, you know, it just asks more of your body. So we'll start to strengthen all these good areas so you guys can continue to grow safely. Right? All right, guys, so let's just get settled. Jenna, if you don't have a block at home, maybe grab a bolster or a pillow or, you know, a book or something that you could sit up on. But let's start to tap into that connection of the root chakra, into what is beneath you. Doing your best to lift up tall through the spine, but with ease in the neck and shoulders. Begin to find your breath. And let's take the next hour to dive into truth, which is this week's theme. So knowing whatever arises on the mat today, it is loved and accepted. And there is no need for change in this space. Just move in a way that feels good. And we'll rise from our mat feeling lighter and more balanced. Five more rounds of breath here, just to land, to notice what's going on inside of you today. Maybe finding a little more length in the back of the neck, a little more space between the ears and the shoulders. Two more rounds of breath here. One more. As you exhale, allow the chin to drop to the chest, finding a generous stretch down the back of the neck and into the tops of the shoulders. As you find your next inhale, we're going to roll the neck out in one direction or the other. We're going to go both ways. So it doesn't really matter how you start. But as you're exploring, notice the tight areas that are calling to you. Notice maybe where the breath is a little less, so that you can help it flow deeper into those connective tissues. Let's take one more roll in this first direction. When you're ready, let's return the head to center, raising the crown towards the sky. Let's take a big inhale to reach the arms way overhead, spread the fingers wide, and exhale to pull in goalpost arms to really open through the upper back. Inhale to reach the arms overhead, pulling the belly in, spine is stacked now. And exhale to plant the right hand down to the earth, big side body stretch in the left side body. Nice breath, Sarah. One big inhale here. Exhale to round the left shoulder towards the earth, squaring both shoulders towards the right knee. Really let the head hang. A little bit of a child's pose-like shape. 2 breaths here. When you're ready, walk the hands through center and then roll up through the spine, nice and slow. You can use your hands to help you walk here. Inhale to reach up through the crown. Exhale to drop the chin to the chest. Inhale to start those neck circles in the other direction, being mindful that you're not rounding in the low back. We're nice and active through the lower belly, supporting the spine and what's above that low belly. Searching for those sticky spots, taking a pause with 1 round of breath if you find an area that feels good. 1 more roll. When you're ready, let's return the head back to center. And then on an inhale, reach those wide spread fingers up above over your head. Exhale to pull through goalpost arms and stick those ribs and the heart out. Chin lifts. Good. Inhale to stack up through the spine, pull the belly over top of pelvis. And exhale to ground the left hand, big stretch in the right side body. Notice if this side is a little different, that's okay. Roll out that right wrist for a little ease. Big inhale. Exhale, squaring both shoulders over that left knee. Got a little child's pose-like shape here. 2 rounds of breath. One more. As you exhale, walking those hands through the center, and then inhale to press and roll up through the spine. Good work, guys. Let's take a moment of pause, maybe giving a couple shoulder circles, letting everything kind of drain out of the neck. And then find stillness for 2 rounds of breath, knowing that you have landed. One. Nice ease in the shoulders there. Beautiful. Last round of breath. Very nice, everyone. When you're ready, we'll come out of whatever grounding shape you have chosen, and I will meet you in a tabletop. Okay, guys, so let's really check in with the fundamental things of tabletop, right? Spreading our fingers wide. The hands are right underneath the wrists. Wrists are under elbows. Elbows are under shoulders. Perfect. Very nice. And then we have a 90-degree angle with our legs. Knees are directly under hips. Gentle bend in the elbows. Our neck is in line with our spine. We're staring straight down at our mat, and the belly is actively pulling towards the spine. Take 2 rounds of breath here to notice how much heat and energy you can create in what we think of as a very simple pose. 1 more round. Very nice. As you find your next inhale, drop the belly, tuck the toes, and take the gaze forward for cow. As you exhale, untuck the toes, round the spine, and press actively into the hands. Good. Inhale, tucking toes, belly drops, heart shines forward for cow. Exhale, we untuck the toes, round the spine, and point the crown of the head towards the earth. Good. Let's take 3 to 5 more rounds here. Just flowing on your own rhythm, focusing on where you can bring some softness into the body. Remembering that this is supposed to feel good. We are warming up, but any organic wiggles are always, always welcome. Here we go. 1 or 2 more, wherever you are. Beautiful. Last one. Big, deep inhale. And as you exhale, let's rise into our first downward dog. So toes are already tucked. Lengthen through the backs of the legs. Reach the heels towards the earth. Spiral those shoulder heads. Loop them out, back, and down. Elbow creases are shining towards the front of your mat. Beautiful. Let's pedal through the feet just a little bit, bending one knee as the other leg straightens, and then the other. Nice. Let's take 1 more on each side. Good job. Big inhale brings you up on tippy toes with both feet, and then exhale to really ground the heels down, but it's like you're putting the brakes on. So it's like a very juicy lengthening grounding through the heels. Big inhale, down dog. As you exhale, step the right foot forward between the hands for your runner's lunge. Grabbing the blocks if those might be helpful for you. Here we go. Beautiful. And then let's check in with the alignment of our lunge. So our front knee is not over our front toe. We've got that 90-degree angle. Back knee can be lifted or lowered. There we go. So bend into that front knee for me, Sarah. Yes, good. And then we're pulling the heart forward. So no rounding in the upper back. That's another thing. We'll do that eventually. There we go. Big inhale here. Exhale to stay. Good. Inhale to lift up to your crescent lunge. Try not to wiggle. Perfect. Good. Still bending deeply into the right knee. Exhale. Hands back on blocks. Inhale to open and twist to the right. So right hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Coming back to center. Beautiful. Inhale up to your crescent again. Nice. Try to look forward. Exhale back to that runner's lunge. Nice job, ladies. Moving the blocks, grounding the hands. We're going to inhale to step this right foot back into a high plank. Knees can be lowered as well. Good. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower the knees with control. And then let's open our knees as wide as the mat and sink back into a child's pose. Taking a minute to notice how everything has landed in the body. Let the forehead rest. There we go. And maybe sway a little side to side through the hips. Just for some extra sensation. You can take it or leave it. Very nice, my friends. 3 more rounds of breath here. Let your neck relax. There you go. Good. One more round. Nice work. When you're ready, let's all come up through our tabletop. Checking in with the bones stacking on top of each other. And then we're going to inhale to tuck our toes and exhale to rise back into that downward facing dog. Big full body stretch here. Sway the hips left and right. So keep the feet grounded and tick-tock the hips. Notice how that gets into the IT band. One more round of breath. Checking in with the rotation of the shoulder heads. Exhale to find stillness back in center in downward facing dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, step the left foot forward up between the hands for your runner's lunge. Placing those blocks if those were helpful before. And then checking in with the alignment of the front knee. There you go, girl. Pull the hips back a little bit. Yes. So this knee doesn't go too far forward, right? Good, good. Nice. Slide your back foot away from you a little bit more so that your hip point's lower just a smidgen. Yeah, there you go. Nice. And then that gives you the space to lift the heart forward, right? Good. All right, let's take one breath here just to get settled. Good. Here we go. Inhale, press equally into both feet as we rise for crescent lunge. Exhale, hands back to us. Inhale, grounding right hand as we open twist to the left. There we go. Exhale, left hand comes back to your block. Bend into that foot knee. There we go. Spread the tootsies. Yes. And then inhale, back into that crescent, nice and smooth. There we go. Exhale, back to our runner's lunge. Good work, ladies. Move those blocks. Ground the hands. Inhale to step the left foot back to your high plank. Booty is low. Neck is in line with the spine. Belly is hugging in. Heels are reaching away from the crown. Big breath. Exhale, lower the knees. And then sink back into your child's for a rebound. Good work, guys. I'm going to turn these fans on. Let's stir it up a little bit. Let the shoulders relax. Let the elbows soften. It looks really good, girl. This has opened up a lot. Better? Yeah, good. The spine's nice in alignment. Beautiful. Last 2 rounds of breath. All right, my friends. When you're ready, gently roll up through your spine. We're gonna move on to our 5-part ab series. So any little wiggles that you need in between, feel free to take them. And I will meet you laying on your spine, and I'll direct you from there. So once you get down to the spine, maybe get a few windshield wipers in. All right, guys. As you're getting settled, just a couple of reminders for our Pilates exercises. So we are always breathing in through the nose. That doesn't change. Our exhale is through pursed lips. Yeah. So it elongates the breath, but it also forces, that's right, Sarah. Did you just feel your lower abs like pull down? It forces the transverse abdominal wall, which is the one that's closest to our spine, to engage, okay? So always grounded down to the earth. We never have space in between the mat and our back, so no lower back grounding. And I think that's all I've got for you right now. All right, guys. So we're gonna start with our single leg stretch. So draw your right knee in towards the chest. The left leg will be out long, but your left leg is hovering 6 inches above the ground. Very good. Both hands are holding that right knee. Now it's your choice whether you keep the head grounded or if you curl the neck, chin, and chest up for a little extra challenge. Take a big inhale. Exhale to pull that right knee in. Good. Inhale to switch the legs. Exhale to pull the left knee in. Good. Inhale to switch. Exhale to pull right knee. Beautiful. And we're going to keep flowing. Inhale to switch. Exhale to pull. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Trying to keep it rhythmic and smooth. Find your own flow. We're going to take 3 more on each side. Ground down through the abs as you pull them up and in. Very nice. That was one. And 2. Very good. Inhale as you switch to center. Exhale to pull that single knee into chest. Last one. Big inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, pulling both knees into chest. And exhale just to relax for a second. Just take a moment, 2 rounds of breath. Make sure no tension is snuck into the shoulders, the neck, or the throat. 1 more round. All right, my loves, we've got our double leg stretch coming. So keeping both knees into the chest, 1 hand on each knee. You're gonna inhale and then exhale to send both feet out at a 45-degree angle. There we go. Inhale to pull the knees in. And then exhale, flex the feet, press the heels away. Make it higher, Sarah. Yeah, there you go. Inhale. Exhale. Let that pursed lips exhale ground the abdominal wall. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. We're going to do 3 more. You guys are doing great. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale to press them both away. Inhale. And exhale. Glue those inner thighs together. 1 more. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale to press them both away. Nice. Inhale, knees come in. Exhale, we take a rest. Swear it, please. 2 to 3 rounds of breath just to wiggle. Make sure no tension is sticking in the body. Especially the front of the throat if you had your head lifted. All right, guys. 1 more round of breath to get reset. And then we've got our scissors coming. Yep, scissors. So, we all have our soles of feet grounded. Perfect. Draw the right knee into chest. And then extend the right leg long up to the ceiling. There we go. Left leg is out long, hovering above the mat 6 inches or a little higher, right? There we go. Head, neck, and chest can be lifted towards the leg, or you can leave it grounded. Big inhale. Exhale to pull the right leg closer to your face. Keep it straight. Good. Inhale to switch through center. Exhale to pulse the left leg in. Inhale to switch. Exhale to pulse. Good. Inhale. Exhale. And exhale. There we go, ladies. Inhale through center. Exhale to pulse. Inhale. Exhale. Good job, Lauren. Let's take 3 more on each side. Nice. Making sure those shoulders are not clenching. Good. Bring the legs closer up to the ceiling if it's a little too difficult, or bend through the knees. Got 2 more rounds. There you go, Angie. Nice work. Exhale. Last one. Inhale through center. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, both knees into chest. Exhale, relax. Wiggle it out. There you go. It's intense, I know. What's madness to me is like a true Pilates class is a full hour of continuous movement. So we're gonna work up to that one little bit at a time. I don't want to cause tension that we've gotten rid of, right? 2 more rounds of breath to get reset. Okay. Good breath, Angie. All right, guys, here we go for our lower leg lifts. So diamond with the hands underneath the tailbone. Good. Now the head will stay grounded for this. I guess you could lift it, but it really puts a lot of pressure on the hands for some reason. So I like to keep my head grounded. And then we're gonna start with our Pilates stance, which means heels together, toes apart, little V in the feet. So we're gonna inhale. Wait, let me do this. It goes. Okay, so it's inhale to come up. Inhale, down, 2, 3, and then exhale to come up. Good. Inhale for down, 2, 3, exhale to come up. Beautiful. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, exhale to come up. Let's take 3 more. Inhale for 3, 2, 1, exhale to come up. Good. 2 more. Inhale for down, 2, 3, Exhale, pull those abs up and in. Last one, inhale down. 2, 3. Exhale to come up. Good job. Bend the knees, plant the feet, and remove the hands from under the hips. Good job, ladies. You've got one more exercise, our crisscross. So it's also called bicycle sometimes. So when you're ready, right knee hugs into chest. Our left leg is out long, hovering about 6 inches or higher, depending on where your personal edge is for today. And then we have both hands behind the head. And then we're gonna inhale in center and exhale to twist the left armpit towards the right knee for 1, 2, 3. Inhale to switch through center. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. Good. Inhale, keep the elbows wide. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. Nice work. Inhale. Exhale for pulse. 2, 3. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. One more on each side. Inhale through center. Exhale, pull knees into chest, lower the head. You are done. Take some knee circles here. Good work. And then reverse the knee circles. Bringing both knees into chest and then letting both knees fall to the right, arms come out into a T. Take the gaze over the left shoulder. Here you go, and you just let them flop. Good, good, good. 5 rounds of breath here. Get really heavy through the back body. Last 2 rounds. Nice work, ladies. One more. Now listen carefully. I want you to take the toes to touch. Fan the left knee open so that we're coming through a reclined butterfly. But I want you to actively press the big toes together so that we keep the ankles in line with the shin and the knee. You can rock a little side to side. One more breath. And then exhale to close that right knee over to the left, finding our gentle spinal twist on the other side. Gaze goes over the right shoulder. Making sure the toes aren't holding. There we go. 2 more rounds. Good. Last round. All right, my friends, when you're ready, we'll draw the knees back through center. An option to either rock and roll up to seated through our little ball, or keeping the feet planted, reaching behind the knees, and just bringing yourself up. Doesn't matter which way. Yep, yeah. All right, perfect. Nice work, ladies. So let's come around with the legs. You can either swing them around or you can start practicing going over in your easy pose. And then meet me in your our downward facing dog. Let's let all of that go. What was that? Oh, yeah. Already opening. Here we go. All right, guys. So grounding through the left foot. As you inhale, send a flex right foot up to the sky for your three-legged dog or your 3-point. Good. Exhale to bend at the knee and open and stack the hips. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen through the right leg. Square the hips back to the earth, belly pulls in. Exhale, big step up between the hands for that runner's lunge. Oh, yes, good. Here we go. Inhale to look forward in that runner's lunge. And then exhale, big step up into a chair. Nice. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, just big back. Nice. Inhale to step up through the spine. And exhale to forward. Hang out in this forward fold for a second. Pedal through the feet. Maybe take some ragdoll arms. One more breath. Nice work. Inhale for half lift. Really lengthen out through the spine. Pull the belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Ground the hands. Inhale, 2 big steps back to your high plank. Let's practice our chaturanga. So exhale, let's lower the knees. And then in one piece, hold on to that abdominal work you just did. Lower the rest of your body down. Good, Lauren. Yes. Inhale to lift for baby cobra. You know, it feels good. Exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale to press through tabletop. Belly lifts away from the earth to help you go through tabletop. And then tuck those toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, send the left flex foot up for your 3-legged dog. Exhale to bend at the knee and open through the hip. Inhale to square the hips, lengthen through the left leg. And exhale, try to think about pulling that knee up through the heart so that you have space to place it between the hands, runner's lunge. Good. Inhale up to crescent. Oh, that wasn't right. No, that was right. Inhale up to crescent. And then big step. Exhale for chair. Good. Nice. Inhale up. Exhale, big back bend. Beautiful. Inhale, stack up through the spine, pull the belly in. Exhale to forward fold. Fold, hang in your fold, shake out the neck. 2 rounds of breath. If you feel safe, you can play with lengthening through the backs of the legs, maybe a little more than you normally do. Two more rounds. Last round. Beautiful. Next, inhale, flip to that half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Grounding the hands to confident steps back into that high plank. And exhale to lower the knees. And then very mindfully lower in one piece. Good. Much better, Sarah. Nice. Now, inhale to lift into locust. So zip up the inner thighs, head, chest, and feet lift. Good. Exhale to lower. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale for locust. Yes, and then feet together. Good. Exhale. 1 more big inhale. And then maybe take the arms out to a T. Above the head, hold it. Back to a T. And then back to the earth as you lower. Good. Belly pulls away from the earth. Inhale to press through your tabletop. Exhale, either rest in child's or downward facing dog. Good work, everyone. Maybe exploring the knees together in child's, knowing that will give you a different sensation. Five rounds of breath here. Very good work. Very good, yes. Last 2. One more. Good job, my friends. Now we're going to slide out onto the belly. If belly is not comfortable, then you can just lay on your side. Would you be able to do the same thing? Take a minute just to be happy that you're on the earth. Always, always be happy. Maybe getting a block for your head if you're on your side. Good. 2 more rounds here. Last one. Beautiful work, my loves. We're going to be lengthening through the front of our quadriceps. So you have your left. So you'll bend through the left knee and reach back to grab the left ankle, toe, pants, wherever you can grab. Keep that foot flexed for protection. Yeah, just be mindful of the knee and see if you can drive that hip point down into the earth. Yeah, that looks good. Very good, yes. 3 rounds of breath here. Last round. Good. And when you're ready, you can release the left ankle and bring it into a half frog, the leg. So knee comes up and you try to find that big deep stretch in the rotation of the hip socket. So if the left hip point is lifting, then you may need to square it back a little bit. I'm coming to you. So it takes a little bit of micro adjusting. So let's think here. I feel like just roll to your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then take recline butterfly. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, so it's like real deep down in the hip socket. Do you feel like a little stretch?
Yeah, really.
Not really? Then bring it up higher. More? Okay. And then what you're gonna do is try to drop this down, but keep this grounded, right? So that's the play area in terms of the range of motion and the sensation. I like to kind of, like bounce my little foot and stuff like that. There you go. As long as we're being gentle. Nice. And this looks great if you ever want like more sensation. Bring this hip point down to the earth. It's going to make your foot lift, right? But then we get to play in more of this area. Do you feel that? A little? Yeah. It's very personal, so that's why it's like, really just keep your hips balanced and then try to play with the angle of this knee and this foot to find new stretches within that hip socket. Yeah? Okay, cool. 3 more rounds of breath here. Good breath. Last one. Very nice, my loves. When you're ready, start to gently unwind. Maybe take a little press into a cobra if you need any wiggles before we do the other side. Good. One more round of breath just to play, to let that first side settle. And then when you're ready, bending at the right knee so that we can find that deep stretch in the right quadricep. So things to play with here are making sure that the knee is not swaying out to the edge of your mat. It needs to be pulled in towards your midline. So roll onto your other side, Angie. There we go, honey. And then, yeah, there you go. So knee is hugging in towards the midline. We can flex our foot to create different sensation. You can pull the belly away from the earth. There's lots of little itty bitty things that can make this a whole different experience. Yeah. There you go, good. Just a little more, looking nice. Good, good. 3 more rounds of breath. Yeah, okay, perfect. And then just know the more that you pull the belly back and drop the tailbone, right, the deeper the sensation. Yep, last round of breath. And as you're ready, either rolling to your back in your reclined butterfly or finding that half frog with the other leg. Yep, there you go. You're already thinking about it. Good job. So it feels like you're like less turned out, right? Because your foot is typically not going to touch the earth. But that's kind of the point, right? Is to find new depths of a stretch. There's always more to do in every single shape. That's, yeah. Three more rounds here. One more. Good, Lauren. Yeah. Very nice, my friends. As you feel ready, just gently unwinding from whatever shape you have chosen. And I'm going to give you a little space to get in those final wiggles, and we'll hit our Shavasana. Does anyone need to leave right in time? Okay, cool. I'm gonna go a bit over. Remembering to really pad yourself up, maybe bolster under the head and knees. We have lots of extras, right? We could do a bolster on top of you as well. Sometimes that just feels really safe and grounding. Good. So really making sure that you feel happy and supported. You find that shape that your body can just take a huge exhale in. Feel your forearms let go. Any tension in the shoulders begins to melt into the earth. You may feel some heat still swirling in your body. That's good. Let it flow. Begin to elongate your exhales. So that you can recharge and adjust. Drift away. I'll bring you back when it's time. Very slowly and gently. Begin returning to the space and into your physical body. Connecting to your breath. Your legs and your arms. Maybe finding a full body stretch, really squeezing the hands and pointing the feet. Yes. And as you exhale, roll into your heel on one side. Let's rest for about 3 more rounds. Just feeling the ease of the air flow in and out of your being. Noticing how calm you feel and how quiet your mind is. Take one more round of breath here. And as you exhale, slowly rise. Keep your eyes closed. There's no rush. Gentle, gentle. Listen to what it feels like to be upright again. If you'd like, join with prayer hands at heart center. And thank yourself for your practice this evening. Let's take one more inhale together. And exhale to bow and say namaste. Namaste. Namaste, friends. As it feels right for you.
Namaste, Jenna. We'll see you next time.